China, a land with over 5,000 years of history, boasting not only the formidable Great Wall or the awe-inspiring Terracotta Army, there are many more hidden facets waiting to be uncovered. We will delve into 5 fascinating secrets of ancient China that are sure to astound you.
The mystery of ancient pyramids in China. In southwestern China, Guizhou province, the abundant region full of forests and captivating nature conceals something miraculous. Several mountains shaped like pyramids from ancient Egyptian civilization. This fact has attracted significant public interest because throughout China's long history, no culture was associated with building large pyramids. Many experts speculate that these Egyptian-like pyramids in China are burial sites of ancient Chinese emperors or lost artifacts, which could be greater than the 1922 discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in Egypt, because in 1974, they discovered the world's largest underground tomb, over 2,000 years old, belonging to China's first emperor. So vast that archaeologists said they would need to excavate here for centuries. Filled with chariots, treasures, army, human skeletons, and other items that he wanted for his afterlife.
However, Western archaeologists remain restricted from exploring these mysterious pyramids in China, although Google Earth images show evidence of not just one pyramid, but many in Xi'an, covered by trees and grass, appearing at first glance like natural mountains or hills. And disclosure of information about these mysterious pyramids requires permission from the Chinese government only, which is one of the stances that makes experts suspicious about what the government is hiding regarding the pyramids, including observations that the vegetation covering these pyramids appears deliberately planted, as it is systematic and full of cypress trees, which are among the fastest-growing trees. Some scholars explain that Egyptians and Chinese share similarities in respecting traditions and being practitioners of science, especially astronomy, and they both believed in reincarnation of spirits and the afterlife. Of course, the pyramids in China were not built by ancient Egyptians, so they may have different purposes. Once Egyptian pyramids slept peacefully, unknown to anyone, until the early 20th century when technology revealed their secrets and changed everything forever. So while the Chinese still don't want to reveal these secrets, perhaps because they want to let their dynasty and ancestors rest in peace and don't want anyone disturbing them, as Chinese culture respects traditions greatly, for now, the world can only watch these things until someone changes their decision in the future.
The secret of ancient Chinese alchemy, a science combining science, philosophy, and magic. Alchemy, or the art of transmutation, was a mysterious tradition with archaeological evidence from ancient Mesopotamian, Egyptian, and Chinese civilizations. With Wei Po Yang as an important figure in Chinese history known as the father of alchemy, he wrote famous alchemical texts that were left for future generations to study. One of Wei Po Yang's dreams was to find a way to achieve immortality. He believed that understanding nature and chemical processes would lead to creating elements that could extend human life. These elements were common metals or minerals like lead, tin, brass, transformed into gold through the miraculous power of alchemical rituals. The resulting gold would have powers beyond natural gold.
Translating ancient documents about this mysterious science was difficult. Chinese linguistic scholars of the past abandoned their efforts in despair because it was mysterious and complex as expected. It had many subtle concepts, explaining the steps of transforming natural materials into valuable things according to yin-yang principles of profound Taoism, and often used symbols to represent various meanings, making these texts difficult to understand. But on the other hand, this difficulty in interpretation helped preserve the secrets and experimental techniques. In the past, scientific knowledge wasn't as developed as today, making many chemical processes appear magical or supernatural. Today, we know that in ancient Chinese alchemy texts were about trying to transform lead into litharge or cinnabar through high-temperature firing. Basic elements were used in experiments to create the Philosopher's Stone and convert it to gold, which no one actually achieved.
Forbidden books. In ancient Chinese history, there were many forbidden books and knowledge, especially during the Shang and Qin dynasties. One of the most significant events was the burning of books and burying of scholars in 213 BCE by Qin Shi Huang, who was China's first emperor. To unify the country in ancient times, he ordered the destruction of all books except those about agriculture, medicine, and divination, and executed about 460 Confucian scholars by burying them alive, because he wanted to prevent comparisons to his power from propaganda by scholars who were enemies of his rule and wanted to eliminate different opinions to make political views unified. When the state wanted to control public thought through such cruel events, Qin Shi Huang became hated by many people, especially later intellectuals, because besides being a violent act, it resulted in ancient Chinese literature and philosophy and many valuable sources of knowledge being lost forever.
Besides the Qin dynasty, during the Qing dynasty, books were censored, especially during Emperor Qianlong's reign, who examined and burned books with inappropriate content or that conflicted with power of the empire, such as Nan Shanji, a book about Ming dynasty history and described events related to the execution of princes of Emperor Ming Chongzhen, which was considered a challenge to power of the Qing dynasty. So it became a book viewed as threatening to imperial power, making Taiming Si, the author, faced execution and his family faced legal punishment as well. There were other forbidden books like Hong Lu Meng or Dream of the Red Chamber, which exposed the corruption and degradation of the feudal system. Shui Hu Zhuan or Water Margin, which told stories about heroes who were oppressed gathering to help people who were exploited. The government feared these books might lead to future rebellion.
The use of jade and mystery of the massive, valuable jade armor. Jade is ancient China's most precious gem, symbolizing purity and embodying 5 virtues. Jade is a strong, natural stone that cannot be cut by metal. Ancient Chinese believed it had magical properties, warding off evil, bringing good fortune, prosperity, and indicating social status to its owner. Chinese society thus used jade in daily life for thousands of years, like various utensils, including plates, bowls, cups, lamps, tables, and weapons, including sacred objects in seals, like the white jade dragon seal of Emperor Qianlong in the Qing dynasty. Jade was carved into various complex shapes for home decoration, especially the white jade cabbage that required rope and sand for polishing to create its shape, and jade jewelry that remains popular even today. Jade was very important to the Chinese court. Archaeological excavations reveal that jade has been part of Chinese society since the Shang dynasty. Some sources mention using jade to detect poison by dipping jade into cups or drinks contaminated with poison. The jade would immediately change color. Additionally, there was a belief that jade had protective and healing properties because jade cannot be destroyed, making owners feel immortal, and for this reason, jade was often buried with the dead. And besides believing that jade could help preserve the body immortally, preventing decay after death.
Jade also represented political power and wealth of the ancient upper class. For example, the Han Dynasty burial jade armor suit that was created from 2,498 specifically shaped jade pieces sewn together with gold thread, which researchers estimate required hundreds of highly skilled craftsmen and would take 10 years to create just one jade armor suit. Originally, the burial jade armor was just a historical legend that no one thought existed until 2 complete jade suits over 2,000 years old were discovered in the tomb of Prince Liu Shang and his consort in Manchang, Hebei province in 1968. This armor consisted of hundreds of small jade plates sewn together with gold thread, weighing 1.1 kilograms. Additionally, there were jade pieces designed to cover the eyes and body openings, all to prevent evil.
However, archaeological discoveries showed that this jade armor did not help preserve the bodies of Liu Shang and his consort, as only their skeletons remained.
Oracle bone divination rituals. In ancient Chinese culture, oracle bone divination was crucial to political governance, especially during the Shang dynasty, which required spiritual approval for various plans through divination rituals. The oldest surviving oracle bones are cow bones and turtle shells, with ancient Chinese inscriptions from the Shang dynasty, about 3,000 years old. Oracle bone divination opened morning windows into daily court life, but it wasn't communication between humans, rather communication between humans and deities by asking questions or inquiries to the spiritual world about daily activities of the emperor and court. Getting spiritual approval for various plans became an important mission. This ritual used many resources and much time. According to Shang dynasty records, they received turtle shells up to 500 or 1,000 shells at once. They also killed a similar number of cattle, whether foreign or domestic cattle, to use their bones in divination rituals.
Before divination, the bones had to be prepared, starting with removing flesh, smoothing, then craftsmen would inscribe questions on bones with sharp tools. Then they would heat them with fire until cracks appeared. The crack patterns would indicate spirit answers to each question. Questions were usually neutral, so spirits could answer either positively or negatively, ranging from personal matters to politics, harvest situations, battle success to ordinary matters like whether it would rain today or which ancestral spirit was causing the emperor's toothache. Animal bones functioned like radio waves that could tune into the spiritual world. The Shang dynasty wasn't the only group practicing this divination, as oracle bone divination continued into the Zhou dynasty. But carving questions and predictions with hard tools was replaced by drawing with brush and cinnabar ink, causing the divination messages to fade away with time.
Here are 5 fascinating secrets of ancient China that we've shared with you today. All are part of a long history that continues to be filled with mysteries waiting for us to uncover. We hope you enjoyed this journey. Please subscribe, like, and comment to support us in producing more great content like this. Thank you, and have a good day.